putting people in positions where they can get indicted, that's not hip hop. And we as journalists, I've had Nipsey on my broadcast before, and I talk about this all the time. I wouldn't ask Nipsey anything that he would say that would get circle back on him.
That's right.
Even when we're talking, he was saying something, and I knew where he was going. I said, let's talk about this.
Exactly.
I'm not going to even let you put yourself in that.
What are your thoughts on guests in our culture? One, it's a two-part question. One, many considering Eminem to be the GOAT of hip-hop. Do you think that is even possible? And then two, in our media space, Vlad, DJ Vlad, do you think that Vlad is a culture vulture, or do you feel like he rightfully has a space and something to offer in this space?
Very good questions. First thing with Eminem, I think Eminem is very good. I'm a fan of Eminem. I think Eminem he's not the greatest, not with Rakim and Nas walking around here. Eminem is good, not with Scarface and Cube.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially Scarface.
You dig?
You know
People really sleep on it. Yeah, that's my brother. People sleep on Face.
Shout out to Face.
So that's different. His stuff hits different.
Yeah, that's right.
Lyrical guy, that's clever, but Face, that shit hits you.
That's right.
You feel that shit.
That's right.
So that's different. There's a different energy and spirit that a Nas and a Rakim is going to get you. It's a whole different energy, and it's coming from a consciousness too. Scarface, very conscious guy.
Yes.
I mean, this guy, he's more radical than me.
Yeah.
You talk to this guy.
Yeah. Shout out to the Brad.
Shout out, that brother, he's with it.
Yeah.
Rakim, very this brother helped bring consciousness into hip hop again. Eminem, he's good, but he doesn't bring that element, and that's a very important element.
Yeah. He doesn't bear the burden of culture. But
right. But he's good.
Yeah.
There's some good white R&B singers.
Yes, for sure.
You ain't Luther Vandross,
Yeah.
But you're good.
Shout out to Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there.
So we give credit. So these are still guests in the culture.
Yes.
They're still guests in our culture.
Yeah.
Now going to the Vlads. Many people consider him a vulture, and he does a lot of vulturous things.
Okay.
That's not hip hop, and this is rightfully so. Why people should look at it a certain way. Putting people in positions where they can get indicted, that's not hip hop. And we as journalists, I've had Nipsey on my broadcast before, and I talk about this all the time. I wouldn't ask Nipsey anything that he would say that would get circle back on him.
That's right.
Even when we're talking, he was saying something, and I knew where he was going. I said, let's talk about this.
Exactly.
I'm not going to even let you put yourself in that.
And you know the culture too.
Right.
Yeah.
We're from the same culture. And just the rule of the streets.
The rule of the streets.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit up with somebody and say, well, so you rob people. What kind of gun did you use?
Yeah.
Did you have 3 bullets? Were they hollow point?
Was it Friday?
Right.
Was you chilling?
Yeah.
Just even ask that ain't hip hop. That's not hip hop.
I agree.
So people have a right to call that out. That's vulturing. And Vlad has been labeled a vulture. And what does a vulture do? A vulture will kill something and then eat the carcass. They look at something to exploit and kill it and make money off the exploitation of it. That's what a vulture does. It kills something and eats the dead carcass.
But are we responsible? Because we're inviting everybody to the cookout.
Right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
the thing.
And we keep celebrating it. It's I'm sure he has a predominantly 80% African American subscription base.
I would say most of it is white.
I will too, because they vicariously want to. They are entertained by our trauma.
They are.
They're entertained by our trauma.
That's it. Y'all better understand. A lot of these hip hop blogs
That's a fact.
are watched by white people. White people buy more hip hop.
Now that I know.
Especially when you get to a certain point. Like when you independent and you a couple 100,000, that's the community. But once you start going gold and platinum and multi-platinum, them are all others. That's all others.
Now, why do you think that we feel the need to, do you think that we seek as a collective validation when when the outsider comes to our culture and says, oh, this is cool, we do like this, they're cool, and that's why we're like that as a collective?
We see that white platforms are usually built to expand more. Even though if the content ain't that great, their content isn't suppressed. Like black content, we don't get pushed like they do. They don't push us in the algorithms.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
I could talk another hour about that.
Yeah. You know.
feeling that too?
Oh yeah, I already know.
Okay. All right.
We get people,
I knew I wasn't crazy.
unsubscribe people to
Yes.
our stuff.
Yes.
You know, they do little shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Where they oversubscribe to the white
Yeah,
platform.
they
So-
won't send our content to our subscribers a week later.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
shit like that.
When I'm on live, I get people all the time coming in the room. Oh man, I didn't even get a notification.
That's right. That's
You know,
a fact.
They do that.
That's a
That's
fact.
not
Yes.
by accident.
That's a fact.
They do that to us. But if you scroll down YouTube, they promote some of these other white platforms. I mean, without you even looking for them. So they get a leg up that we don't get. So I understand certain people want to go on their platforms because
Yeah.
they get more views sometimes.
Exactly.
So I get that.
Yeah.
But I say if you go on these platforms, don't let them finesse you into
Yes.
getting yourself indicted.
That's right.
You know, watch what the hell you say.
And also, let me say this too, especially me being in this space. And Holdin Court has, we've built up a solid reputation and a fan base. Cool. Go to Vlad. Go to No Jumper. Get your, if you're selling something, go get out there. But don't act like that's the marker and the measure, and then not come to Holdin Court.
Right.
Or don't go sit down with Tariq. You see what I'm saying? And think, oh nah, I do Vlad. I'm not gonna do yours. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen people act like that too.
I have too. I just didn't want to call no names. But
Right,
it's a few
right.
people that I'm cool with that I'm like, damn, you always too busy for me, but you on Vlad every month. Like, what the fuck is that?
Man, there was some comics because we at our museum we have a comedy night, real popular, and there was some comics that be on Vlad, and we wanted them to come do something, and they were kind of little, I'm doing some stuff with Vlad, and it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, what you trying to say, dude?
Right. Yeah, and I'm not saying don't do it. That's fine. Like, go ahead, go, do that, but don't not come sit down with your brother. Don't come down and come and not sit down with the culture for real. You know what I mean? So I that's what I take umbrage with. Cool, go do your media thing, but
Yeah, and sometimes when some black folks out here think white is better. Well, I get the same amount of views as Vlad on my channel. I get the same amount of views, and I just usually just do me.
Right.
So a lot of these folks can't use the excuse of numbers.
Yeah.
It's just if I'm sitting here with a white guy co-signing me,
Yeah.
that's something special to me.
Right.
They don't want to say that.
Right. I think you're right.
You know?
I think you're right.